Today on GBA-Z, we're taking a look at SpongeBob SquarePants Lights, Camera, Pants.
A special episode of The New Adventures of Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy is being filmed, and the show's stars have mysteriously disappeared. The fate of the popular television series rests in the hands of SpongeBob and his friends as they battle Bikini Bottom's most dangerous villains to find the missing actors.
Besides Mega Man, which had a whopping 16 games on the Game Boy Advance and both Dragon Ball and Star Wars that are tied with 8, it's difficult to find another series with more releases than SpongeBob. With 7 games over the handheld's lifetime, it beats out Harry Potter, Madden, FIFA, and not counting re-releases, is tied with Mario. Developed by WayForward and released in 2005, Lights, Camera, Pants is split up into 4 sets of 4 levels, multiple minigames, a store, and a finale. The setup here is like Super Mario Bros. 2, where everyone controls a little differently and contributes something unique to the group. Each character has a normal attack, running attack, and jumping attack, and is able to gain access to specific areas. SpongeBob is shorter than everyone, so he can walk under low ceilings, Patrick can butt stomp through bricks, Sandy can walk over spikes, and Squidward can high jump to out-of-reach areas. The idea is to use them all in combination to explore everywhere. Throughout your trip through Bikini Bottom, you'll see the Mermalair, the SS Rest Home, Goo Lagoon, and finally end up on the soundstage. At multiple points and levels, you will come across a TV set that lets you choose between one of 3 options: revive a knocked out character, fill up the health of someone who has been hit, or add a clapboard to your inventory that gives you an extra life. The graphics, artwork, animation, and music are all great here. Well, except for this picture of Squidward where no one cared about finishing his nose. You'll see a bunch of fan-favorite characters from the show, like the Flying Dutchman and Mrs. Puff, as well as the main 4 in all kinds of wacky costumes. Lights, Camera, Pants can easily be finished in an afternoon, and depending on how much you like it, feel free to continue grinding stars to buy the rest of the minigames from Gil's trailer. Whichever character completes a specific level in each stage will be given the opportunity to play a role in the upcoming TV show, including a stand-in, a motorcycle cop, a lookout, and a waiter. Even though the PAL cover does a better job at showing exactly what Lights, Camera, Pants is about, I think I still prefer the North American artwork, despite it making the game look like a 2D fighter. Pretty crazy decision to not include Sandy Cheeks on either of them though. So do I like Lights, Camera, Pants? I think it's okay for a handheld game, but on the less enjoyable side for being a WayForward game. It does have replayability due to unlocking the other pricier mini-games and to see the different combinations of characters in their final roles. Even though Lights, Camera, Pants doesn't have a lot of content, it does things that most devs probably wouldn't have bothered to add. For example, it's fun that you can choose between 4 characters that feel unique, but I wasn't expecting them all to have their own individual boat car designs that drive a bit differently. The character roles aren't a mind-blowing idea, but it's probably the most unique part of the game that people won't even notice occurring. It honestly should have been a selling point stamped directly onto the box and not just given 2 sentences on page 12 of a 15-page manual. I personally think it's a charming addition, and I didn't even notice it during my playthrough. There are only a few things that I don't particularly like because they make gameplay feel sluggish. First, your character stops running directly after attacking or anytime they run onto a different type of flooring, which kills the pacing. The game pauses when you want to swap characters. It would help the pacing if the swap was quicker and didn't pause, like how Flintstone's Surprise at Dinosaur Peak works on the NES. I'm not sure why there's a character selection before every level when you're able to swap immediately when it starts. Even if it was considered necessary, couldn't the menu have just been made quicker to use by resembling the box art? Despite these nitpicks, I still like playing Lights, Camera, Pants, and I especially loved the Burger Builder minigame. Next time we'll take a look at The Simpsons Road Rage, and if there's a specific game that you'd like to see reviewed on GBA-Z, just leave it down in the comments. First person to tell me what GBA game this audio clip is from I'll pin your comment to the top and send you something in the mail, and don't edit your comment or you're disqualified. Stay nerdy. I'm out.
Getting your nerd on, getting your nerd on, getting your nerd on.
I got a raging nerd on.